Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Wednesday, September 8th, 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 2021. You're looking at geomagnetic instability last night. Did you have trouble sleeping? We'll get to that, but the big story, supercell thunderstorms produce nearly 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, baseball-size hail, and 1 inch of rain. Possibly a tornado, forecasters say. Keep calm. It's Chi-Town boom time. Storm knocks out power, leaves softball-size hail in northeast Wisconsin. No, it didn't. Barely the size of a baseball. This is bad reporting, and we can prove it to you because we're going to show you the video. Let's take a look.
Tuesday, a cold front triggered severe thunderstorms producing heavy rain, gusty winds, and hail across Wisconsin. In Appleton, hailstones were as big as baseballs, and in Delavan, quarter-size hail fell. As the front moved southeast, one Ozaki man went from mowing a lawn to running for cover.
Most intense that I've been in the middle of, yeah. And I started work a half hour early today because I knew it was supposed to rain, but I didn't think I was going to cut it close by like 30 seconds. We need the rain, but not quite like that.
The storms didn't stay for long. They pushed out over Lake Michigan, leaving Milwaukee with a spectacular view of the storm clouds.
And that's where we find our...
And that's a boom. Subscribe to the channel. Give them a thumbs up. Tell them Diamond sent you. They need the support. But what we should glean from this is that reporting is bad all over the world. When you do the research, the largest hailstone in the storm was barely 3 inches, which is less than the size of a baseball. Certainly not the size of a softball, which would be 4.5 inches. So check your sources and do your math. Now let's check if the power is actually out. We're moving over here to Power Outage US. And it's taking quite some time. There it is. It's boom time, kids. Louisiana, still 283,000 customers without power. That's about 600,000 people that are in the dark. Up here in Michigan, we have 22,000 without power and 27,000 without power in California. This, I believe, is a sign of the times. These power outages at some point will be literally littering the map, and we'll be seeing them popping up all over the U.S. at any time. Usually this map is blue. It has been blue for most of the year. But as we move forward, this map is going to become quite colorful, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the tropical cyclones in the Atlantic and the Pacific. Larry has been weakening day after day, now only sustained winds at 105 miles per hour, Cat 2 storm. It's going to be moving offshore Bermuda and up towards Canada. Nothing much happening. Some of those bands could make it to the East Coast and would bring enhanced precipitation right on the coastline. We'll get to that. And in Vet 99, the potential tropical storm we've been watching for 8 days has finally become Tropical Storm Mindy, which is going to be a non-event as it moves across the U.S. We're going to get to that. Here is the storm track for Mindy. So if you're on the Panhandle in southern Georgia, this baby's going to make its way quickly across, form as a depression offshore, and quickly move out. There is almost no rainfall potential, but here is the key message for Mindy. Mindy is expected to produce heavy rainfall. Not really on the models. We'll get to that. A few inches, maybe up to 4 inches on the Florida Panhandle, but not likely into southern portions of Georgia and even South Carolina through Thursday morning. This rainfall may produce isolated, scattered, flash, urban, and small stream flooding, but pales in comparison at all to Ida. So, thankfully. And tropical storm conditions are expected through tonight into portions of the Panhandle where tropical storm warnings are in effect. Just the northern portion of the state where it will rafe right through along that Georgia-Florida state line. So heads up there. Now, if you're on the west coast by Baja, they just came in contact with Nora, and now they have tropical storm Olaf. LMNO, Olaf. Olaf is forecast to strengthen to near hurricane intensity, and the precipitation models are showing up to 10 inches on the tip of Baja. So while they escaped destruction during Nora, this one's not even going to make landfall on Baja. But as it passes by and moves quickly out to the west, it may dump up to 10 inches of rain because the storm will be to the east of Baja. I'm sorry, to the west of Baja, and most of the storms happen to the east. Heavy rain happens to the east of the center of circulation, and that's going to be the Baja Peninsula. We're going to point that out to you right here while we look at the total precipitated moisture, and we're just going to move it through here through September 14th, and you can see what I'm talking about. Olaf is going to make its way and curve around here, but not before it leaves up to 10 to 12 inches of rain on the tip of Baja. Now, another tropical disturbance is going to form right behind Mindy. Now, here's the rainfall pattern from Mindy. It only gets 3 or 4 inches here in southern Georgia. That's about it. Not much happening anywhere else, an inch or two. That's pretty normal for Florida. But here we have a pocket of 10, 12, even 14 inches of rain in East Texas from another tropical disturbance. And let's just run this through that may be coming up here and lingering in the Gulf. And so that's bad news because we could have another flooding event here through mid-September. A September to remember, as I said, and look at heavy rain and snow probably coming to Washington State by mid-September as well. So stay tuned for a September to remember. Moving ever forward, Tropical Storm Mindy, Western fire weather concerns. And that's the forecast from weather.gov. Tropical Storm Mindy is forecast to track across the Florida Panhandle to offshore of the southeastern U.S. over the next few days. Expect some heavy rain for the Florida Panhandle and southern portions of Georgia and South Carolina. I like that forecast. Meanwhile, the widespread elevated and critical fire weather conditions along with isolated dry thunderstorms are likely across much of the west and northern plains. There is no rain in sight. There is no precipitation in sight. Look at this. We're looking at September 24th. If we just back this up to a few weeks out, look at this. September 11th, almost nothing happening in the west. This is some good precipitation up here, much needed, but it's just literally a dust bowl for weeks out here in the Four Corners region. Nothing happening. So no reprieve to the drought in this squeeze box area as the southeast. Well, they're going to get drenched. Now let's talk about some facts about the Arctic ice extent. I've shared this week with many people. I haven't heard a peep from the mainstream media. The Arctic ice extent is literally increasing to the 8th highest extent in the last 10 years. This is the highest we've seen it in 8 years. The highest ice since going back to 2013. And if we talk about the area, the same stat, the highest going back to 2013. And it's increasing early. At the major melt, it's peaking up. So the climate system is definitely shifting, and it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the sun shutting down. Discover Solar Winds showing us the sun has more effects than ever. We have some perturbations coming in about 36 hours ago, a massive jump in speed at the same time. The plasma density went up instantaneously. This is probably a CME impact and not plasma wind exclusively from a coronal hole, but we have additional effects here with a rising speed followed by a bump in density. Don't know what that is, another CME. We have some major solar effects happening here, and it did bring us to geomagnetic instability at 2 occasions for 6 hours over the last 24, and those lines are right here. When the magnetometer has shifted here almost 100 nanotesla. This was the first instability here. And the second instability happening right here on this massive jump in the magnetometer. Everything has been quiet and smooth since then, and that's indicative of the drop down towards KP0. Goes X-ray flux showing another high-level C flare coming off just a few hours ago, and this is not yet on the models, but this is the original CMEs that are hitting the little yellow globe here called Earth. Boom! It's supposed to hit on the 10th. It's the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th. And now we have another CME that's potentially coming from this solar flare. I haven't looked at the telemetry. I don't know if there was a coronal mass ejection from this flare, but the potential is high. If CMEs are coming from small C flares, then they're probably also coming from large C flares. But we'll know in the morning, so stay tuned for more updates. Now, the Aurora went absolutely crazy on September 7th yesterday. for several minutes north of Fairbanks. And it was all caused by, these little yellow lines and these glitches. So this little glitch here that was completely vertical caused some spectacular aurora.
Still going, still going.
And let's take a look at it. Yeah, of course we want to play it.
Still going, still going. Oh, those are some colors and a half.
Wow. Come on. Oh,
Come on! Holy macaroni!
There they are. It's orange, too.
Oh my goodness! Holy crap! That's the New Jersey
Please
version.
do that overhead.
Now what you want
I
to...
wish I had my 50 on that.
Yeah, I need a 50 on that.
Doing it again.
gosh. Are you kidding? What?
Oh my gosh! Now what you're looking at here is an extreme auroral event where we're getting in the purples and the whites. We're talking a highly extreme event here. Here's the whites. Now, this is it.
Still going.
Look, I want to share this with you. If you've been watching the channel for years, 3 years ago we reported on a cacophony of articles coming out saying the aurora is going away because of global warming and the sun is completely spectacular. There's going to be no more aurora because of you. Now, what we've gotten in the last 3 years is some of the most spectacular auroral displays in the history of man. Not only that, we have 2 new auroras we have named, a blue one called Steve and a secondary one that's white that has a different name, the white aurora. And these are high energy events happening in our atmosphere and stratosphere and ionosphere, which are lighting up the skies. Take a look.
Oh, those are some colors and a half.
Holy macaroni.
Come on. Oh,
Holy shit, Mom. Come take a look at the aurora.
Orange, too.
Mom, come take a look at the aurora. It's totally freaking amazing, Mom. Come and
Please
take a
do
look.
that overhead. I kind of wish I had my 50 on that. Jeez, it's doing it again.
Gosh.
Oh my macaroni.
What the beep?
I hope Diamond shows this on his program
Yeah,
tonight.
There's no reason all of
This
you
has
should be doing videos
been
right now.
fantastic. It's freaking
Bright as heck.
amazing-alicious. Is that even a
That is
word?
crazy.
I think
I
this
have
is
not
amazing.
seen it do this. Oh
No.
my gosh, that color.
Oh, it's amazing-alicious. Oh, crap. All right, we're going to leave you links to this because it's just so amazing that it's hashtag Aurora. Stunning time-lapse footage captures the return of Aurora Borealis, as if it ever left. I mean, more shitty reporting. Where did the Aurora go? It's been popping off every month for the last 2 years. Now a dazzling attraction, the Aurora Borealis, also known as the Northern Lights, are part of Alaska's lore, and now they're back after the media said they were gone. My word is bond. Perfect, powerful earthquake kills at least one perfect. Did I say that? Yeah. Well, it was a powerful earthquake in Acapulco. It destroyed much of the infrastructure and shitty columns that were fake anyway, and broke a bunch of cars. But it was initially reported at MAG 7.4, Al Gore's a whore, and then downgraded to 7 MAG. But moments before the event, oh my God, we're going to just have to pause that. We're going to have to download this. Moments before the event, there was spectacular lightning. Now let's see what they're saying here. Downgraded to 7.1 magnitude earthquake that struck Mexico on Tuesday, their lose day near the Pacific resort of Acapulco, leaving at least one person dead and shaking buildings in the capital almost 250 miles away. The epicenter was 7 miles southeast of Acapulco in the Guerrero state, the National Seismological Service reported. A man was killed when a utility pole fell on him in the nearby city of Coyuca de Benítez in Guerrero. State Governor Hector Astudillo told Milenio TV. A lot of inflections there. But President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, which has way too many names to speak, said in a video message there were no reports of significant destruction, as pictures of columns crushing taxis and cars at hotels are being shown in this CBSN video. Are you kidding me? All right, here we are. Let's take a look at the earthquake and lightning storm in Mexico, moments before the earthquake. Now, the reason we're showing you this video is quite obvious. That there's a direct connection between space weather and earthquake events because the electricity is triggering the movements through telluric currents in our Earth. And holy macaroni, this is happening just moments before the 7.4 downgraded to 7.1 magnitude in Acapulco. Now take a look at this hotel. Ready? Watch it over on the left. I want to bring your attention over here to the left. Oh, there's something that's lighting up the sky here that's going to blow your mind. Wait for it. He's about to pan left. And what the heck is going on behind this hotel? That's my question to you. Did you see that big blue? Another boom? Watch this. Stick with us.
Sí, sí, está larguísimo.
Yeah, larguísimo.
Que las luces.
Tu bueno.
Estas luces.
Es muy estupendo. Fantástico.
Y ves las luces del mal en
Primero.
toda la torre esta.
Okay, watch this. Boom! What in the hell? What is going on here?
¿Ves eso? ¿Qué es eso?
What the hell?
Y ves las luces del mal encima de la torre
What
esta.
in the world is happening here?
No entiendo el fenómeno.
Holy macaroni.
¿Ves eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Now, moments after this video was posted, the earthquake occurred. Subscribe to the channel, give them a thumbs up, tell them Diamond sent you, and that we love their video. Do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for the cause. 5.0 just kicking off. Oh, boom! In Indonesia, this could be a volcanic eruption at 20.6 kilometers. We're going to keep a close eye on it. Yes, there are many volcanoes in this region. This is not Sinabung. It should be over here. But we're going to go check out what's going on here. Some disgusting activity in White Cities, New Mexico. This is deep well injection earthquakes. And Acapulco has calmed down, just aftershocks. We have some activity happening in Hawaii, where we're expecting Kilauea to erupt at any moment. 2.5 in Waimea, Holy Hea. And the mid-ocean ridges are spreading, as usual, because it's not plate tectonics theory. It is, well, the expanding Earth that's actually occurring based on new papers that are emerging that we just shared with you. Now, Asteroid 2021 RS2 will fly by Earth at an exceptionally close distance of just 0.06 lunar distances. And if you don't know what that means, well, it's pretty significant. It's the closest approach of any object in 2021. And that's not fun because it's so close, we may suck it in and it may go as a bolide in the sky. Possible origins of some periodicities detected in solar terrestrial studies. Now, Earth's orbital movements have been studied for decades, including by me. As a graduate student at university, I studied the Milankovitch orbital perturbations, which were posited back in the 40s. And we were trying to correlate them with what we saw in this stratigraphic record in the rocks, quarry by quarry, state by state, county by county. As we moved across the globe, we were determining that these periodicities existed in the stratigraphic rock record. Now, with computer learning and massive computers that can crunch the data, they have been confirming the work I did 25 years ago. And we were ridiculed. We were called out. There was no funding available for the work we were doing because we were against the mainstream. But we were doing good science that was data-driven. 95% of our work was data. 5% was theory. And we got shut down. You know why? Because we were working in the right direction, which is, well, a way they don't want to go. That's why Willy Soon is shut down. This paper in August 2021, no one has read it. Nobody cares. Because it's the most significant paper on the subject ever written. possible origins of some periodicities detected in solar terrestrial studies. Earth's orbital moments. And these movements have been studied, and well, we're trying to figure out what the mechanism of the cosmic catastrophe cycle is, and that's very important to the movement. Thank you, Willy. Another presentation that Willy and I are in constant communication now. We're becoming good buddies. We're headed out to the next amazing, where is it there? The 14th International Conference on Climate Change. We're headed out there as media to cover all the great people doing work there. Hopefully, I could get a spot there in a year or so. Who knows? I need to just put out some papers. So this could be a change I'm working towards. But before we get there, we're going to go there and cover this as the media. Not the mainstream media, not the lamestream media, the real science media. We're going to be one of the first real science media channels on the planet. And we have to lay low doing that because obviously we've run into issues of censorship and being shut down, which is our bottom line, which is not fine. But I digress. So Willy put together this, and this is Willy's favorite conference. He just got done about a month ago in Texas, the nexus of the Schmexus, where Camp's Constitution symposias were held. Now, his talk here, Failed Climate Predictions, Fake Science for 50 plus years with Professor Willy Soon at Camp Constitution, is a do not miss. Look, it was just published recently, it has over 17,000 views and only 8 thumbs up on Rumble. Can you believe that? I'm completely disgusted. Now, if you don't know, Oppenheimer Ranch Project also has a channel on Rumble where we have 1,522 Rumbles. I want to see that at 100,000 by the end of the year. And that will mean that you have all migrated from YouTube over to the RealTube, where they do not censor information, especially by the top climate scientists in the world, like Willy Soon and Camp Constitution. So check out this program. Please comment below that Diamond sent you. Hello. Diamond sent me from Oppenheimer Ranch Project. The most censored science channel on the planet. And that's a boom. Hello. I have to fix that. So, Diamond sent me from Oppenheimer Ranch Project at the most censored science channel on the planet. And that's a boom. And comment. Now, this helps. This is why Willy Soon knew about our channel. I told you to do this 3 or 4 years ago, and you guys did. And Willy Soon read the comments, and he said, what is this Oppenheimer Ranch Project? And he started watching the videos. And today, Willy Soon and Diamond are 2 of the connected, multidisciplinary scientists that are working actively every day to crush the lamestream science and to bring about the rebirth of actual real science. And that's a boom. Now, the insidious flaw in the less meat argument, well, I'm sure Willy covered it, because every topic I talk about, he sends me 3 papers he just wrote within the last 3 months. And my mind is blown. So I'm sure he wrote a paper on less meat. But Seth Iskin did it on his blog here. The insidious flaw in less meat argument. We need soil, not soy. And amen, Seth. That is the truest statement I've ever heard. And my talk at the Crestone Energy Fair, which I just shared with you all, the necessity for permaculture, is basically this talk as well. Only he doesn't cover the green movement lies. He just covers the fact that we need cow poop. We need them stomping on the prairies, or we do not have any biodiversity or fertility, because that's what the poop provides. It doesn't warm the earth. It doesn't destroy the planet. It makes your food more nutrient dense and you healthier. And that's the last thing these governments want. And we're pointing it out. We're also kicking ass and taking names at the 14th International Conference on Climate Change, presented by the Heartland Institute, which is attacked by everyone. These are just a bunch of people who vote for Trump and are climate deniers. I'll tell you what, it actually is a list of the most important PhDs on the planet. And I'll be at the opening keynote dinner. I'll be through all the talks on Saturday, all the talks on Sunday. We'll have sit downs with Patrick Moore, the guy who invented Greenpeace, which is now the bane of our existence, other than BLM and Antifa. And we'll also be talking to Happer and many others. I mean, some of the top climate deniers in the field. We're going to be interested in who Jenna Bentley is and Derek Hawley. Apparently, they support our mission. Kevin Diarantha. Who the fuck are these people? Neil Frank. I've never heard of them, but I'm sure they have all important things to say because they're scientists and they're patriots. Well, and let's just click on View All Speakers. See how long that takes. Well, that's going to take a while. Now, I want to point out that Ben Davidson at Suspicious Observers, Space Weather News, his letter on August 10th, 2021, I've been meaning to read it, and I had some time today to take a look. And this is the most well-prepared document in just 2.25 pages with all the references, just like every single video we've ever done here. Everything we talk about is referenced with the link. This paper, well, it's actually just a reply or an open letter. Geomagnetic extinction, a paramount science disagreement, is, well, stunning, to say the least. And I don't have a lot of good things to say about Ben, usually, except that he created one of the biggest community-based science organizations ever in North America, and we're all called Suspicious Observers. This has been ongoing for a decade. And on top of that, he's gotten many of the topics to the forefront. I disagree with many of the things he says, clearly. But this paper, which is just on geomagnetic extinction, is brilliant because he actually cites all of the work, all of the science, has an excellent argument, which I agree with, and many other scientists that agree with me agree with him. Now, much of the other shit he talks about is complete fantasy and infanticide to sell books and to scare the shit out of you, just like COVID-19, which is egregious and disgusting, and we hate. But that's why he has 500,000 subscribers that are dubious at best and follow him along like puppets and suck at his teats. Because he's just that. He's a fantastical figure they can't touch. Now, you know who you can't touch? Me. Hundreds of our fans come and meet me every day, and I'm, well, just a normal human, which Ben is as well. But egos aside, his is quite larger than ours, and it shows. But this paper aside, I want to give him a big thumbs up because this is some of the stuff he does that is actually important. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance. When you're critiquing scientists that are helping you push an agenda, well, Ben, we support you on many of your topics. But like all scientists, we can agree to disagree. I disagree with probably 40% of what you spew, but 60% is good stuff. So keep it up. And just like Willy Soon and I get along maybe 95% of the time, those are the type of people I want to work with moving forward because we have more positive outcomes when we agree mostly on the alternative topics we're talking about, and we're less apt to agree with the scumbags that got us here, which is what Ben does. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. And stop listening to what NASA and NOAA has to say, because they're just as clueless as Ben is. I said it. And that's a boom. Oh, yeah, he's a lawyer.